Hello, my name is Brent Bowers. You're listening and watching now to Brento's Budget Filmmaking Podcast. This is our first vodcast, I don't know what you call it exactly. But I'm excited about a new piece of equipment I just purchased that I'm filming this with. It's called the GoPro 3 HD Black. Should say Hero 3 Black. Interesting that the black rendition, which is the same color as the silver, has additional functionality. I became infatuated with some footage I saw online with this little sports camera, and it's so tiny and portable you can squeeze it into cool places like the windshield, for example, in a car, and have a nice wide angle. I've been doing some test footage this weekend. Does time lapse and slow motion particularly well. It does use a proprietary codec, so you have to use GoPro's free software to convert it to a more normal file type, AVI or movie, whatever. So I've been just shooting some test footage and whatnot, and decided to go ahead and try to do at least a vlog and see what size I can get this show to. The downside, of course, being that the Libsyn account, I only have so many megabytes per month that I can fill up, and putting out a vlog show obviously takes up more than that. But and then also I kind of need to come up with titles and whatnot if I'm doing this, as opposed to just the normal little punk intro. Brento's Budget Filmmaking Podcast, yeah. In any case, you're getting the first vlog, so I'm kind of excited about that. If anyone is interested in seeing this format again, let me know. You can contact me through Brent at brentbowers.com or via the Libsyn page that you can get to by following wherever you saw this link to this podcast. Most likely on Univille.com. I have been doing some research into a flying platform for the GoPro. There are a couple different options out there. The first really great option is called I believe it's the DJI Phantom. It's a quadcopter that has built-in GPS so that you can go into hands-free mode, and just imagine anything you could do with a crane or a helicopter, you can do with this, given certain limitations. The GoPro, of course, won't record for long periods of time. It's only as lengthy as your media card, and that's something to consider. You wouldn't want to film a whole movie with it, for example, but for a really effective shot, flying in on a location or an establishing shot, I think it could be pretty spectacular. I gotta say, the footage that I've pulled so far, it looks amazing. There's a bit of a fisheye effect to it, but I think that's because I have this in the widescreen setting. I'm going to set it to the narrow focus later and test that out. As far as the camera itself, it was about $400, but I've already put another $115 into the various attachments. It comes with a waterproof case, which is another reason that I wanted it. I'm doing pre-production right now for a short film, as you've heard, called Buddy Row. There's going to be a scene shot from the bottom of a bathtub, and originally I was going to borrow this camera from my buddy Robert W. Fillion, but then I got to looking at the cost, and I thought, well, hey, I can go ahead and get this, and it's just one more tool for the toolbox, so to speak. And in that regard, I think it was money well spent. Now, this flying platform, I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sold that I'm going to get that, because it is high dollar, $700 for the Phantom. And then again, I don't know how often I would be able to use it. This camera, I feel like, with the combination of, it does time lapse, slow motion really well. I can put it in places where I couldn't. Put the Canon 60D, for example, that I shoot with. You can mount it onto a machete. Has all kinds of flat and curved mounts, helmet mounts, POV, rigs, driving like you're seeing here. I could even mount it on the hood if I wanted to a shot through the windshield of two characters driving, and it would look great. I think that justifies itself because it's so versatile, and I can certainly find a way to use that in everything I shoot, and I really hope to try to do that to sort of justify the expense. Obviously, $500 and some bucks, But the flying platform, I can see that on any kind of feature film. You're certainly going to have enough scenes that you could you could set up bookends or something like that. We always at MVP like to set up big bookend shots for our films, and I think we tried to do one time with a boom truck without the proper rig, and it really turned out unusable, but it was fun trying to get it. But with this flying platform, that would have been a breeze. The fact that you can put it where you want it, turn on the GPS, and it'll sit there. Then you can take over as you like. There's a couple different features about the navigation that make it look really easy to operate. So you can take it a step further. There's a iPhone app that allows me to see the preview image from the GoPro. The GoPro has wireless enabled. It has no viewfinder, but it's wireless enabled, and you can use various apps to connect to it, or it has a remote control. The downside of the app is there's a huge lag. I'm talking maybe 4 seconds of lag. And also when you're videoing, it turns off the preview. So you have to get your shot, hit the button, let it film as long as you want, and then hit the button again to stop it. Also, while the Wi-Fi is turned on, it eats the battery up like nobody's business. And it's a well-known fact that the batteries on all the Hero cameras suck. Optimal usage, if you have Wi-Fi and everything turned off and you're shooting in the lower frame rate, optimal battery life is like an hour or something, hour and some minutes. But yeah, I haven't seen anything like that with the way I've been shooting. I tried the slow motion footage like 120 frames per second, and that just chewed the battery right up. I did go ahead and get the Wasabi add-on battery pack so I could have 3 batteries rotating, at all times. But it's worked out for this application. This is the 3rd video I've shot from in the car, and it lasted long enough to get the content that I wanted, so I felt pretty good about that. So, in short, so far I like the camera, and as I get a little bit more efficient at my workflow, getting the footage over into Premiere, doing things that I want to do with it, then I can give you more of a definitive answer. But so far, I'd have to say I would recommend it as a camera. And I recommend that if you're interested in the flying platform, which is just really fun footage to look at, you can go to YouTube and search for GoPro HD3 flying platform, and you'll come up with all kinds of links to that Phantom quadcopter, sorry. And there's some really, really cool videos people have posted. Some geek took it even further and put like these Fat Shark gaming goggles, which are now Wi-Fi enabled. And so basically, when he has those on, it's like flying a POV like in a video game. So it's actually very, very cool. And ultimately, that's where I would probably want to go, so I could see the shots as I'm getting the shots from the Phantom. And I'm sure there's a learning curve. I mean, I don't know how much control I'd be able to exert. I would imagine it'll take some practice, but the cool thing about that particular one, which is at about around $700, there's about a $300 model that you can get called the Parrot, which has built-in video, and you can also mount the GoPro to that with a little creative engineering. But I've been told by one person who used it that it wasn't quite beefy enough to handle the weight of the GoPro 3, so I'm going to just skip right over that one and go right to the nicer one. I like the idea that if you fly it out of range, I think it all operates by line of sight. If you fly it out of range or you get too high, instead of just falling out of the sky, which some models will do, the Phantom will use the GPS to return to where you launched it from. So that's pretty powerful right there. So I don't know, hopefully maybe in the next few months I'll be getting into one of these, and perhaps might even be able to bring it into play on Buddy Row. But at the very least, I have the Hero 3 right now, and I can get that awesome shot of a certain body part falling into a bathtub that I really saw myself shooting for that. So that's cool. I'll just keep playing with it, and eventually I'll post some maybe some extra videos and stuff along with this for slow motion tests and things of that nature. And yeah, should be fun. So definitely hop on Amazon and check out the GoPro Hero 3 Black and see what you think. This might be the camera for you as well. Pre-production continues on Buddy Row, but at this time, the sole contributor to the budget for the film, if you will. I know this is no budget filmmaking, and trust me, we won't have much of a budget, but he, I think, like a lot of people, came into it thinking, oh, a short film won't cost anything, and really quick, it's a bigger nothing than you expect, so we decided to postpone shooting. Originally the plan was to postpone it for a month, and you want to go? All right. Gosh, people. Humanoids. No good deed goes unpunished. The lady was too busy drinking her drink to pull out. I was letting her into traffic. But anyway, she must be from Montgomery County. Cha-ching! But yeah, so kind of lost my train of thought there. Sorry about that. Just pulled on out. Anyway, we're postponing Buddy Row for about a month and hoping to resume the original shoot schedule, which was 2 days. And you know, in the fact that I was getting a little bit more time, I bounced the script off of at least one person and got some feedback. It was really nothing I didn't already know about, but I decided to rewrite the script. So I think I'm going to probably drop the period aspect to it, put it in the 80s, and just go with, not really mention the period, make it look kind of retro, but not really mention the period. And I'm going to eliminate at least one of the locations and just do a little bit more character development in the dialogue, so that we have a little bit more insight into where the folks are coming from. And then I'm probably going to add one character, interestingly, that's just somebody I know will be on set anyway, and you've seen him, you know him, you love him. He's Crazy Todd, the mentally impaired janitor. But should be a lot of fun. Hoping to get that shot before it becomes too warm. I'll tell you what, April 22nd, and it's actually cool today. It's pretty nice now in the afternoon, but I was really glad that I brought the old blazer in this morning walking into work, because it was quite cool. In fact, I would have been plumb chilly if I had not had the jacket on, so that's pretty cool. Alright, so that's about it for this episode of Brento's Budget Filmmaking Podcast. Thanks for listening, and check back soon for another update.